Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Stick to your agenda. Now, check it out. Now, of course, I said this channel is going more in the direction of just dealing with select men issues. Now, just to be clear, because I still have some people who misunderstand the term, being select don't mean you got money or kick ass in life. Select just mean women are selecting you more than average. It just means if you walk in a room of 100 women, 70 of them think you fine. That's it. It don't have nothing to do with your job, how important you are in life, because you got millionaires out there who sexually are non-select. And that's why I'm talking about stick to your agenda, because what happens with a lot of guys who are fine to women, they get caught up in a woman's agenda. They really do. You think a lot of these dudes out here who got like multiple baby mamas actually wanted that? That was his agenda. He's gonna like go out here, get all these women pregnant. All of them put him on child support. He can't pay nothing. He running around. He basically like his life is dictated by not only what she's doing, but what the courts want. Some judge telling him, hey, you got to get a job or you got to do this. You're getting your paycheck garnished. How he stuck to his agenda then, or, how is he select outside of there? Because if the select, non-select thing applied to just overall life, that dude wouldn't even been in that position. And that's one of the things I'll be focusing on more anyway. A man becoming not just select to women in the bedroom, but just becoming dominant in life. He needs to be kicking ass on all things. And one of the ways any man has to start it, especially a lot of men getting a lot of sex, is stick to your agenda. Understand something. When women deal with a man, they already have something in mind. Even in situations where they get dogged, even in situations where they get straight up played, they didn't go into it thinking they were going to get dogged or straight up played, or they weren't going to get what they want. They had something. When a woman checking out a man, she already got an idea of what she want from that man. Because one of the ways women choose is they choose according to their needs. I talked about this in my book, Nice Guys and Players. When women choose men, they have a particular need. And it could be anything. They have an agenda. You could just be the dinner date to her. You could just be the Uber to her. Whatever. They have an agenda. Most men, even many select men, sad to say, many select men are following a woman's agenda. Now, select men got more power in it. Now, that's the irony of it. A select man has more power, but a lot of times they ain't going with it. As long as they getting punani, they good to go. And a lot of times they exercise their agenda enough to leave the relationship. But still, too many men are operating on what the woman wants you to do. And she's not even really controlling you or holding a gun to your head. More cases, as long as the time, she satisfies you sexually, you just like, yeah, okay. Maybe because all that blood rushes out of your head to your penis or something. Or, you had that big ejaculation or something because you don't know how to do seed retention. And real quick, just a quick tangent. Real seed retention is being able to have sex with a woman unprotected and still not bust a nut. Because I see a lot of people thinking there's no fapping. And no, it's not. That's not really seed retention, fam. Trust me. You just not busting. You're just not masturbating. Seed retention is when you can go up in a woman and not ejaculate because you had that much willpower. But that's on my more advanced stuff. Getting back to the subject at hand. Too many men, they're going along with what the woman wants. Now, it's funny, people throw the simple word around, but it ain't like the guy really is consciously doing it. He's just not consciously doing something else. Too many men are going with the flow. Now, that woman, she already decided she wants your pretty smile for her baby. Or she wants your height for that baby because she got dreams of a future pro athlete taking her out of her miserable condition. Or whatever the case. She might just want some baby to hold. You know. Whatever the case. Or she wants your money. She wants something. She has her agenda. See, what a man has to do in every single interaction with a woman is have an idea what he wants. Regardless, it could be, you know what, he could be looking for wifey. He could be looking for a one-night stand. And he has to stick with it. He has to stick with it. And he has to be uncompromising and sticking with it to the point that if he don't get his agenda, fulfill his agenda, his meaning with dealing with a woman, he walks away. Now, see, that's when I've talked before in a video about discipline. How many, you got some, here's a sad thing. So many dudes are going through so much just to get the sex that they don't have discipline to walk away when it's a bad situation. Because their energy is into that. Now, the key to sticking to your agenda is having discipline over your own loins. Discipline over your loins and self-respect to say you ain't going to put up with some crap. Like one of my things is, I'm just be honest, and I've said this before, I'm a cheap bastard. I'm a cheap bastard. Money doesn't come out of my pocket until me and the women have been intimate or close to it. Or she's done something, or only exception is if she's done something for me, like cook for me or spent money on me. And reason why I'm like that because that's my own agenda. And plus, I'm like taking the money angle out of it anyway. And I have a specific, if I deal with a woman, it's because it's something about her that's either an asset to me, just an asset to me. If I feel like she's a liability, boom. Even if I'm dealing with a woman platonically, this has to be something that she's giving me. It could be good advice. I know a lot of men don't like listening to women, but depending on the area, they have a lot of insight. That's one thing. Men don't get so caught up in a rule of like, oh, never listen to them. That woman might, I'll say 40% of the money that I receive now came from listening to a woman's business advice. A woman's business advice. Because they were like, hey, check out this website, or you got this. It's like, boom. I'm saying 40% of my income. Because YouTube represents maybe no more than 20% of it. Not even that, really. 15% of my income. So I got stuff outside of this. But my point with that is I've set an agenda for myself. Like every man has to set an agenda. You just got to set a life goal. You have other coaches talking about being on your purpose. That's it. What's your agenda? Where are you going? And I've had to walk away from some very attractive women, like something like, oh my God, these women were attractive, but they didn't fit my agenda. Because I got a very specific agenda. To the point, like most people don't see it. Like my inner circle knows what my agenda is. Or at least they have a decent idea. But most people don't see it. And that's how much you got to stick with it. You got to stick. In fact, I'm going to tell you what, fellas. You got to stick with your agenda to the point if sticking to it means you go, you have a dry season that lasts a year. Like you ain't, they ain't like, you couldn't get women during that year, but that's how hardcore you got to stay to your agenda. You got to stick to your agenda so hardcore to the point that if you have to walk away from a well-paying job to stick to your agenda, boom. You got to be ruthless. In fact, sticking to your agenda got to be to the point you ready to kill for it. That's how ruthless you got to be to it. Now, I know people say, Rom, you're always saying some stuff that is about violence. No. I'm just saying that's how much you got to stick to your principles. You got to go all the way to defend your principles, to stand on your principles. And I don't mean you going out here beating people up or anything, but I'm just saying that's how hardcore you got to stick to your agenda. Like I said, how many men out there are willing to say they can go a year without sex? Just to serve their own personal agenda. Because it's a long-term thing anyway. See, your agenda, that's your life, man. That's your life. That's your life purpose. Because the woman will try to pull you off your agenda all the time for their agenda. And honestly, don't look at women as evil. That's just their nature. A woman by nature is selfish. She's looking for her needs. She looking for her needs and her progeny's needs. That's her nature. That's actually what they supposed to do. They supposed to do that. Now, a smart woman will find a man who's sticking to his agenda and make that her own agenda. Or see how his agenda is actually helping her out too. Because one thing, and this is for the ladies listening, when a man's sticking to his agenda, trust me, you will want for nothing if you support him in that agenda. If you say, baby, I got your back, or baby, whatever. And this for the women listening. Trust me, you won't starve a day in your life. You won't even have to worry about him going out looking for women too hard. I'm going to say too hard because that's not a perfect thing. I ain't going to lie to you and say he's going to be monogamous. But yeah, he ain't going to be looking as hard if you helping him stick to his agenda, or you ain't trying to pull him into your thing. But that's a woman's best chance. But for the men, back to the men listening, stick to your agenda no matter what. And you got to be ruthless about it. You know, ifs, ands, and buts. And that, you ain't bending that agenda just for some, 30 minutes of tail? Nah, hell no. Or you ain't bending it just for, not even for money. Not even for money. Speaking for myself, I've had a lot of people try to get me caught up in different things and stuff that didn't stick to my agenda. That wasn't about my agenda. And, I had to be polite. Say, nah, I can't even do that. I can't do that. And I've actually had people get mad at me for not wanting to go with their agenda, what they wanted. You know? Yeah, I know I got a story behind it, but I don't feel like sharing it. Anyway, stick to your agenda no matter what. You got to be ruthless about it. All right? So anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.